Hello everyone, welcome to Chinese Basics Session 6. This session would be part 1 of Mandarin Phonetics. Let's start off with having an idea of what phonetic is. In this slide, you could see two sets of red font. The one at the top is the phonetic for the pronunciation of phonetic in UK. And the second red font is the phonetic for the pronunciation of phonetic in US. In UK, the word phonetic would sound
phonetic, phonetic,
while in US, the word phonetic would sound as
phonetic, phonetic.
As you could see, the phonetic is also composed of Roman alphabets. So you may say it doesn't make too much sense because if we look at the spelling, we will have an idea of how the word is pronounced. From our previous sessions, we've learned that there are different dialects for the Chinese language. In this session, we are focusing on Mandarin because Mandarin is the national language for China. Chinese is a modern language that doesn't have an alphabet. It requires rigid memorization to understand what it means and how it's spoken. Chinese characters are logograms. It consists of radicals that may be a symbolism, image, or pictures, and these are used instead of alphabets. The radical may provide a hint on the pronunciation and meaning, but it may be far from the correct pronunciation and meaning. Logograms. How does Chinese character use logograms? Let's have an example. In this slide, you could see the different phases of the moon. Astronomers have broken down the cycle of the moon into 4 primary phases, namely new moon, first quarter, full moon, and last quarter. This is the Chinese character for moon, and as I see it, it looks like the first quarter of the moon. For the Chinese character of moon, it's pronounced as yue, yue. You would notice that the left side has some symbols, while the right side have Roman alphabets, which is very close to how I pronounce the moon in Chinese. Yue. There are 2 sets of phonetics. The one on the left side is Zhu Yin or Guo Yin, while the one on the right side is Ping Yin, Ping Yin. Let's look at some informations of Zhu Yin or Guo Yin or P. It is a system of phonetic symbols that represent all possible sounds in Mandarin. It was introduced by the Republic of China in 1910. The symbols are derived from ancient Chinese characters. Countries using traditional Chinese characters still use Zhu Yin. On the other hand, Ping Yin is a system invented in 1950s to transcribe Mandarin Chinese sounds into Latin alphabets. The official romanization of the system was adopted in mainland China in 1958. Ping Yin is also used to transcribe names and places into words accessible to Romanized language speakers. And it is also commonly used for typing and texting. Ping Yin is used in countries using simplified Chinese characters. While both Zhu Yin and Ping Yin are used as an input method for typing Chinese characters, the main difference is that Zhu Yin would need a keyboard that had those symbols written on the keyboard, while for Ping Yin, any ordinary keyboard would be okay because it's using the Roman alphabets. Another commonality of Zhu Yin and Ping Yin is that both have consonants or initial sounds. They have vowels or final sounds. And lastly, they have the tones or diacritics. Going back to our previous example, the Chinese character moon, which is pronounced as yue. You could see the corresponding markings of which are the consonants, which are the vowels, and which are the tones. I know that at this point, most of you would be thinking, since there are these phonetics, why do we need to know the Chinese characters? And here's the answer. If we just base on the pronunciation yue, there are several Chinese characters that would be pronounced the same way. And here are a few of those examples. Yue is the same pronunciation for month, moon, exceed, music, joy, and Cantonese. And you could see from this slide that the traditional and simplified are exactly the same. Now let's try to see words that has different Chinese characters for the Chinese traditional and simplified. Yue is also the same pronunciation for jump, read, axe, wife's father, and mountain. And here you could see that the traditional differs from the simplified. And for the last two examples, they share the same simplified Chinese character. Here are some major reasons of why pinyin was created to replace zhuyin. First, China did not replace zhuyin because it was ineffective. On the contrary, China has acknowledged the immense success zhuyin enjoyed in the 40 years prior to the adoption of pinyin. China changed from zhuyin to pinyin because they wanted to use alphabet symbols already familiar to people in foreign countries as well as China's own minority groups. For instance, the capital of China has always remained to be the same. However, it was previously transcribed as Peking, and recently it has been transcribed as Beijing. Some people were wondering if the capital has changed, but it hasn't. In fact, the Mandarin pronunciation of the capital of China is Beijing, which is very close to the pinyin. And that is the main reason why China would want to adopt pinyin so that it could standardize all the transcribing of Chinese characters in Mandarin. This ends Session 6 Chinese Basics Mandarin Phonetics Part 1. I hope to see you in the next session, Mandarin Phonetics Part 2, where I'll be introducing the different symbols of zhuyin and its counterpart in pinyin using Roman alphabets. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.